Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto is expelled from Konoha and his heritage is revealed, part 2. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. I know Naruto-kun, but I understand that you must do this for the good of the village. You better write to me every day and send Gamakichi to get the letters here even quicker, you hear me? Hinata said in a very stern voice that shocked Naruto. Why yes Hinata-chan. Naruto stuttered out. Good. And with that they finished up their ramen. Summoning jutsu. Naruto called out summoning the mighty Balthazar. You ready to begin your sage training Naruto? He questioned hoping that he wasn't summoned just to chat. Yup. The sooner we start the sooner I can get back to the village since I got to go train with the toads as well. Naruto told him. Very well, reverse summon. Balthazar called reverse summoning them back to the Mountain of Dragons, where they would begin the training immediately. Good luck Naruto-kun, I'll be waiting for you, Hinata thought. Hey Hinata, was that Naruto who just left? Ino asked as she walked side by side with her new boyfriend, Choji. Yes, he went to begin his sage training with the dragons so he can become stronger to protect this village. She told them sadly, really wishing that Naruto didn't have to go away for so long. Oh, that's. By chance do you know who is in charge of the village while he is gone? Ino asked. He told me to tell Shikamaru, and Jiraiya are in charge. Jiraiya will be in charge of giving out missions while Shikamaru will be in charge of seeing through that the village will be well protected and the paperwork portion. Naruto also sent his own mission request to have people go out and recruit more ninja seeing as how we only have one team of genin. Hinata explained somewhat surprised that she remembered everything that her Naruto-kun has asked of her, and everyone else. Well, we will see you later then. We will go see if we can pick up that mission to go need more shops and restaurants around this village. Choji said enthusiastically at the thought of food. Alright by you guys. Hinata said quietly as she went in search for Shikamaru and Jiraiya. It was a peaceful day in the land of the dragons. It was sunny, warm and quiet except for the spar that could be seen going on between Naruto Uzumaki, and the son of Balthazar, Manasa, who was his eldest and next in line to be the leader of the dragons. Very good so far Uzumaki. So far you have been able to hold the sage mode for a few minutes in a spar, not too bad. You have been here for a month now and have made remarkable progress. Manasa praised as Balthazar nodded in agreement. That's not good enough though. I need to be able to hold it out through the entire fight seeing as how if I don't, I might not be able to defeat some powerful opponents. Naruto replied, not wanting to give up. Dragon Sage training and Toad Sage training differ in many ways, Balthazar started. Unlike Toad where you need to gather nature energy, to be a Dragon Sage it requires you to absorb energy from those around you, but if you can't then nature energy would work for a short period of time, 5 minutes top. Balthazar told him. So do you think it might be easier if I went and began my training with the toads so I can learn to gather energy better? Naruto suggested. That might just work. Try summoning Gamabunta here and see what he says. Balthazar told him, and Naruto nodded. Summoning jutsu. Naruto called. Huh, Naruto. Where and why have you summoned me? Gamabunta demanded, not liking the fact of being summoned to a random place where he saw no enemy. We were thinking Naruto could go start sage training with you guys now. I believe that with the nature energy training it will be easier for him to complete Dragon Sage mode. Balthazar answered for him. Ah, so this is the home of the dragons. Well, I see no problem in this, and we shouldn't have to take him for too long if he can already draw in energy. Come on Naruto, let's go. See you later Balthazar, and we never shared that bottle of sake. Bunta left with a poof of smoke and seconds later Naruto followed as he was reverse summoned to Mt. Mayuboku. Hey Naruto. Gamakichi called as he saw Naruto arrive with his dad. Hey Kichi. Sorry I haven't summoned you in over a month, I was really busy with sage training with the dragons. Naruto apologized to his good friend. No worries Naruto, Paps explained everything to me, I understand. Gamakichi told him as he waved off the apology. Thanks for understanding, Naruto said with a grin. As the weeks went on, Naruto was truly turning into a sage and was fully able to control the nature energy that was needed for Toad Sage mode, and Dragon Sage mode if worse came to worse and he had no opponents. You are truly turning into a powerful shinobi, Naruto boy. Pa commented and Ma just nodded her head in agreement as she continued to make dinner. Thanks. I think I am also finally able to draw out the energy of those around me which is required for Dragon Sage mode, and I think I will finally be able to go home within the next few days as long as Balthazar is pleased. Naruto told him with a grin of happiness. With all the sage training, Naruto's clothing was completely destroyed and he had to get a completely new outfit. He was now sporting a dark blue short-sleeved zipper-up shirt, black Anbu-style pants, bandages going up his arms, black shinobi shoes, a black Soragaker headband on his forehead, a kunai holster on each leg, a weapons pouch on his back, and a black cape with reed flames that says First Sorakage. He also now had longer bangs just like his father and wears his hair the same way as well to honor him. Pa had to admit he was beginning to look more and more like his father with each passing day. However, he long surpassed all others including Jiraiya and Orochimaru, which was quite a feat. No one would dare mess with Soragaker as soon as they realized just how powerful their leader was. I think it is time that you went home to your village. You have been gone for nearly 4 months and who knows what has happened. Also, aren't you guys entering the Chunin exams that are being held at Konoha this month? You are bound to have more genin teams since you were last there. Pa told him. That is correct, so I guess this is goodbye now. I will go tell the dragons that I can finally enter their sage mode as well. Naruto told him as he Hiraishined away to Balthazar. Oh Naruto, you're back, great. Balthazar commented. Yup, and I can even enter both sage modes now. Naruto told him and then demonstrated. Very good, I guess that means our training is done for now. Manasa has come to like you a lot and will miss sparring with you even more so now that you have become a sage, Balthazar said, but all good things must come to an end. I know you must go back to your village. I am sure you must be worried about them. He finished. I am. Thank you for all your help. Tell Manasa I will summon him when I can for a spar every now and then and tell him not to underestimate me when I do, by then. Naruto Hiraishined away, leaving a certain 2 dragons with a grin. Yo Shikamaru, how was the village while I was gone? Naruto asked as he arrived via Hiraishin. The village was good, we received some more genin as well as shops, and restaurants while you were away. Also, you missed the beginning of the Chunin exams, but don't worry, we sent a couple teams to them and am waiting to hear back from their senseis on how they did. Shikamaru also went on to tell him how the village was trade-wise, and all of the other ninja that had joined. What had shocked him most was the fact that Itachi Uchiha and Kisame were both staying at the village asking to join, saying how they no longer wished to be a part of the Akatsuki. Have them both summoned here immediately, Shikamaru. I must talk with them and find out what their intentions are. Shikamaru complied and within a few minutes Kisame and Itachi were both in the room standing in front of Naruto. You wanted to speak with us, Sorakage-sama? Itachi asked respectfully. Yes, I wanted to know what your intentions are for joining this village. What do you plan to do if I allow you to stay? Naruto asked. Well, I was originally a spy for Jiraiya in the Akatsuki, and now that you both are no longer a part of the Leaf Village, nor is my foolish little brother, I have no reason to continue spying for the village. Also, I would also like to start up our own Anbu division for your protection as well as the villages. Kisame would of course join me as well as some other friends I have made outside the Akatsuki. I am sure that we will all prove useful and maybe even Sasuke will join when he looks for me. Itachi explained to him carefully. Me personally, I am just sick of the Akatsuki and figured following Itachi as my best bet rather than going off by myself. Kisame told him with a laugh. Very well, I will allow what you wish, Itachi, as I feel having you two in the village will be a huge asset. But I will kill you both if you dare to cross me, and if I find out you were spying on the village for the Akatsuki. You are now both dismissed, and Shikamaru, I want to find out more about the teams that were sent to the Chunin exams. They all nodded. The teams that were sent consist of Team 1 under Neji Hyuga, consists of Taikoji Yu, Hikaru Tora, and Sachiko Yami, and Team 2 who is led by Tomoko Yami consists of Kyoko Uzumaki, Yoko Kiga, and Rin Kiga. They are both very powerful teams and some even have a bloodline. I believe at least 2 or 3 of them will make it into the finals that are to happen next month. Shikamaru told him as a messenger bird flew the window holding a scroll that was addressed to the cage. It seems we have the results of the first and second part of the Chunin exams. The ones going into the finals from our village consist of Kyoko Uzumaki, Taikoji Yu, Rin Kiga, and Sachiko Yami. Pretty strong group indeed. Naruto mumbled to himself the last part. Does the scroll say anything else, Naruto? Shikamaru asked. It's just inviting me as well as 2 bodyguards to come watch the finals in the cage booth. It seems the finals have genin from Soragakur, Konoha, and Sunagakur. Naruto told him as he finished reading the scroll sent from Tsunade. Who will you bring with you? Shikamaru asked him. Not you, of course. Sorry, but I need you here to watch and protect the village. I think I will bring Hinata, as well as Jiraiya. I believe that will be enough in case the village tries anything, which I doubt they would since Jiraiya will be there. Naruto decided. Good choice. I would recommend leaving soon, but knowing you, you will just Hiraishin there and leave a day or 2 before, am I correct? Shikamaru guessed. Absolutely. Well, I am off to see Hinata before she kills me for not seeing her sooner. Naruto joked as he flashed to her. Naruto-kun, you're back. Hinata gasped in surprise. Yes, I am. Now how about we go to Ichiraku for dinner since it's getting so late? Naruto asked, not even giving her a chance to respond as he Hiraishined to his favorite ramen stand. Hey old man. 2 bowl of miso ramen with pork. Naruto called to the back where Ayame and the old man stood. Well, if it isn't Naruto, welcome back. To celebrate you coming back, ramen is on the house tonight. The owner decided. Thanks you guys, that's awesome. Naruto said with his fox-like grin. How was training, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked. It was great, but there's something really important I wanted to ask you. Naruto started as he reached into his pocket. What is it, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked, getting nervous at what Naruto could want. Well, I've loved you for a long time, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Naruto began again as he pulled out a gorgeous ring out of his pocket, and Hinata was doing her best not to faint. So will you do me the greatest honor on earth and marry me? Naruto asked as he held the ring towards her, waiting for an answer. Oh, Naruto-kun, of course I will. Hinata replied, doing her very best not to faint at all the attention the other customers and owners were now giving them. Thank you, Hinata-chan, I won't let you down. Naruto declared as he then slipped the ring onto her finger. They then finished up their ramen and went for a walk through the village and were finally at home. So I heard that 4 genin from our village made it into the finals of the Chunin exams. Hinata told him, kind of wishing she had a genin team of her own. Yup. I was also considering going early to help train Kyoko, seeing as how she is my cousin and all. You will also be coming along with Jiraiya to be my bodyguards, so that way I know Konoha won't try anything fishy to get me to stay. Naruto explained to her. That's a good idea, maybe I can even help Neji with his team. Hinata replied in agreement to her new fiancé's plans. Well, let's get going then, we can let Pervy Sage join us later. I already sent out a messenger toad to go find him and tell him what is going on. And with that, Naruto grabbed onto Hinata's shoulder and they Hiraishined into Tsunade's office. I am back, Bakken. Naruto exclaimed with his usual fox-like goofy grin. What are you doing here, you fool? Tsunade demanded as she pulled him into a bone-crushing hug. Hinata-chan and I are here to watch and help train the genin from my village. Naruto said carefully. You better be careful with the council, they will more than likely try to make you stay. Tsunade warned, becoming serious. I'd like to see them try. Naruto laughed. They would utterly fail, as I can now probably beat you and Jiraiya by yourselves, though with both of you together I would have a much harder time and might even lose. Naruto told her, still laughing a bit. Hey, wanna make a bet, brat? Tsunade demanded, not liking him telling her that he can beat her. Nah, not worth it since you always lose anyway. He replied cheekily. Aw, whatever, go see your genin now. The finals will be held 3 weeks from today, so they need all the help they can get. Naruto nodded and harasshined to his little cousin. Sarakage-sama. Kyoko exclaimed, shocked to see her cousin appear so randomly while she was training by herself. Just call me Naruto-sensei for now. How would you like me to train you for the Chunin exam finals? Naruto asked her. A very surprised Kyoko nodded her head, shocked and happy at the same time. Of course, Naruto-sensei. That would be awesome, but why do you want to train me of all people? She asked warily, not wanting to get too excited if he was going to train the others as well. Well, you are my little cousin for starters. Also, I believe you have great potential to become a great shinobi. Naruto explained. Thank you very much, sensei. I will not let you down. She declared. Good, now we are going to go outside the village to train so that way your opponents cannot see you train. I will train you a bit in Fuinjutsu, some ninjutsu, and I also brought some scrolls on elemental jutsu, seeing as how you will probably need them. Naruto explained, and after that they harasshined away into a clearing that Naruto had found prior to leaving Konoha. What will we be doing first, sensei? Kyoko asked, now getting excited that she finally had someone to train with. First off, do you know the tree walking exercise as well as the water walking? Naruto asked, really hoping that he wouldn't have to explain either to the young Chunin hopeful. Yes, I can do both. Good, that now saves a lot of time that we will now focus on training. Here is a piece of paper that will help us find your elemental affinity. If it turns to dust, you are earth. If it burns, you are fire. If it gets soggy, you're water. If it crumples, you're lightning. And if it splits in half, you are wind. Naruto explained, demonstrating the wind, lightning and water affinities, though the lightning was new to him. Wow, sensei, you have 3 affinities. That's pretty rare, isn't it? She asked, shocked. It is, however, with my dad having the lightning affinity and my mom having water, it's not really surprising that I finally have a small affinity for lightning. Now channel your chakra through this piece of paper and we can see what you have. Naruto explained to her. When she did, however, the results were shocking. Kyoko had a strong affinity towards lightning and a little bit weaker one towards water, which wasn't too surprising being an Uzumaki. It was nearly unheard of though for a genin of only 13 to have 2 affinities though. This will make things interesting, Naruto mumbled. Okay, first I will teach you a jutsu that will prove to be helpful with training, intelligence gathering, as well as combat. I found out that you have high chakra reserves but can make a regular bunshin if you make more than 3, so I will teach you how to use my signature jutsu, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto told her with a grin that somewhat scared her. The day went on and Kyoko had finally gotten down the Shadow Clone Jutsu just in time to eat dinner. I did it, sensei. Kyoko exclaimed while panting. Naruto turned and saw one solid clone standing right next to her. Good job, Kyoko. To celebrate, I will bring you to Ichiraku for ramen. Naruto decided. But ho, she was cut off by them harasshining away back to Soragaku. That's how. We will have 1 bowl of miso ramen with pork each. Naruto called to the old man cooking. As they ate, Naruto began to explain to Kyoko just how their training schedule would be. 0700-0800. Light run around the outskirts of Konoha and to the training ground and begin stretching. 0800-1000. Fuinjutsu practice rotating with other not affinity jutsus. 1100-1200. Taijutsu practice and increase of weights on legs. 1200-1300. Lunch break. 1300-1500. Lightning affinity jutsu training. 1500-1700. Water affinity jutsu training. 1800-2000. Kenjutsu training. 200700. Time to self. As you can see, I plan to work you till no end, and I also plan for you to win this whole thing. Naruto told her seriously. Truth being, he planned to make her and one other his apprentices when the time came. One holding the dragon summoning and the other one being able to summon the toads. This is awesome, sensei. Thank you. Kyoko exclaimed, not realizing just how strenuous this training will be. They finished up their ramen and Naruto then harassed them back to the hotel. Well, here you are. Meet me in my room no later than 0650. We want to meet on time and do a bit of stretching before we begin running. Also, do not let your teammates, sensei or anyone know of our training. They will find out on their own once they see you fight in the finals. The only one that knows of this other than us are Hinata and the Hokage, so she doesn't think either of us have gone Miss NG. Naruto told her, wanting this to all be a surprise to the crowd. Of course, sensei. Thank you again. She called as she went to her room and went to bed ready for the long day ahead of her. It was early the next morning, and if you looked outside the village you would see a 13-year-old girl trying to keep up with Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto was trying to make her speed up and keep a consistent pace, and when they finally reached their training ground it was a bit later than he had expected. Okay, Kyoko, we will work on your speed and endurance later today during your taijutsu training. For now let's get stretching. Naruto told her, a little disappointed in her speed. Hi sensei. Kyoko agreed, and with that Naruto showed her some very useful stretches to loosen up quickly as well as work on flexibility. Okay, now that stretching is done, I want you to make as many shadow clones as you can without getting worn out. Naruto told her, and she managed to make 5 clones, which wasn't too shabby. Okay, I want you to now work on these explosive notes while I go see what I can get from the Hokage on other Fuinjutsu scrolls. Naruto told her, leaving her with a scroll on explosive notes as well as some other seals that she might as well learn, and he hurried into the Hokage's office. What do you want, Naruto? Tsunade asked irritably while she was working on the huge stack of paperwork that lay in front of her. I was wondering if you can get a hold of some Fuinjutsu and lightning scrolls for my student. Naruto requested. And why should I do that? You are of another village now and you are competing against Genin from Konoha. Tsunade asked, not looking up from the paperwork, who secretly had already planned to give scrolls to Naruto and his student to use since they were his father's. Because the scrolls one request belonged to my dad, and I also wouldn't say no to my mom's water jutsu scrolls now that I think about it. Naruto told her with a serious face. Very well, but only because they belong to your parents, but don't tell me you plan on teaching her the Hiraishin. Tsunade asked, hoping to not have another yellow flash in a different village. No, don't worry. I am saving that jutsu for my kids. Naruto told her with a grin. Well, at least that won't happen anytime soon, especially with Hinata. Tsunade joked, laughing a bit, but got worried when Naruto didn't join in. Actually, I proposed to Hinata the other day and she said yes. I don't know when the wedding will be, but you will be invited, of course. Naruto told her and left to find Hinata once he had the scrolls, trying not to kill the Hokage with any more shocking news. Hey Hinata, who is this that you're training? Naruto asked, not recognizing the person she was with. I decided that I would train one of Kyoko's teammates to try and make things a bit fairer to them. Naruto, meet my new student temporarily, at least Rin Kiga. Hinata explained quietly, then introduced them. Nice to meet you, Rin. I am very proud of you and your teammate Kyoko for making it into the finals of the Chunin exams. You make our village proud. Naruto told her with a smile. Thank you, Sarakage-sama. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. I promise to not let you or our village down. Rin bowed, receiving a nod of approval from Naruto. Well, I must be off. I got to train my student more, and she has a lot of training scheduled for her today. Naruto said as he flashed away. Who is Sarakage-sama training anyway? Rin asked, kind of surprised that he would be training anyone for the finals. That is a secret, I'm afraid. But don't worry, you will find out as soon as you see his student fight in the finals, I'm sure. Hinata told her with a smile. With Naruto and Kyoko. You're back, Naruto-sensei. Kyoko exclaimed. Yup, and I got you some scrolls, however it seems your time in Fuinjutsu is almost up. So how many explosive notes did you manage to make? Naruto asked, not really expecting too many. I managed to make about 50, but I got bored, so looked at the other stuff on the scroll and decided to try and make some storage scroll, and I made about 10 of them effectively. Kyoko told him proudly. Not bad at all. We will work on your brush strokes later to make them perfect, but for now they are pretty good. Naruto praised her and she began looking proud. Thank you, Naruto-sensei. She half yelled. Now these are chakra weights that I want you to wear on your legs from now on. You are not to remove these, or adjust these until I say you can, or your sensei says you can. I will increase them a bit every day and it will make you stronger. Naruto explained as he handed her the weights. Kyoko then began to do some more running to try and get used to the weights a bit more, while Naruto looked over some taijutsu styles he thought might suit Kyoko best and decided on the Uzumaki style. Kyoko got the style down pretty well, as that was what her parents began to teach her before she became a ninja, but got too busy to continue afterwards. Okay, it's time to take a break for lunch. Meet back here at 1300 sharp. Naruto commanded. Hi, sensei. Kyoko decided to stay there and eat the lunch she brought and thought it would be a good idea to surprise her sensei by working on the water jutsu he had left behind. Naruto decided to find Hinata and get lunch with her and then go see if he can find Kakashi-sensei to try to get him to hand over a scroll on the Chidori. Hey Kakashi-sensei, I was wondering if you could give me some scrolls on that Chidori of yours. My student has a lightning affinity and she could really use it. Naruto asked his former sensei hopefully. I guess she could learn the Chidori, but I think it would be best if you sent her to me for a bit to learn lightning jutsu rather than you try to teach her a jutsu you don't even know. Kakashi told him. Makes sense, I guess, but you come with us. I don't want anyone to know what she is learning just yet. Naruto told him as he grabbed his shoulder and her eye shined them away to where Kyoko sat waiting. I see you have been training. Naruto observed as he saw the now soaked half of the training ground. Hi sensei. I was working on the water vortex jutsu scroll you left for me. Kyoko said with a bit of pant in her voice, showing she just finished. Very good, though I didn't mean to leave it. It must have gotten mixed up with the Fuinjutsu scrolls by accident. Well anyway, meet Kakashi sensei. He agreed to help you out with some lightning jutsu. Naruto explained to her, which made her very happy that she was about to learn from her sensei's sensei as well as the student of the fourth Hokage. Nice to meet you Kakashi-sama. Kyoko exclaimed. Nice to meet you too, but Kakashi, sensei is fine for right now. I hope you are ready to work because I will be pushing you much harder than Naruto is since I have such little time with you a day. First jutsu I'll teach you is a very useful technique, the lighting release shadow clone. I am guessing Naruto already taught you the shadow clone since you are his student after all, so this won't be too hard for you. Kakashi told her as he used the technique. That's awesome. I am guessing that all I have to do is infuse lighting chakra with my clone and that will be it, right? Without waiting for an answer, she began to fuse lightning chakra and said, lighting style, lightning release shadow clone jutsu. And with that in a poof of smoke a solid lightning clone was standing next to her. Not too bad for a first shot, however the clone could use a bit more lightning chakra in it. I am pleasantly surprised that you were able to infuse your lightning chakra with it on your first try though. Kakashi praised. Thanks Kakashi-sensei. I will teach you one more jutsu for today, then I want you to perfect those the rest of the time you are working on lightning jutsu today. If you get them down I will consider teaching you my signature jutsu. The next one I will show you is a B rank technique called lightning release, false darkness. Kakashi then showed her the hand sign, which is snake, and performed the jutsu. When he did, a spear of lightning came out of his mouth and hit the nearest boulder and went right through. Let me try lightning release, false darkness. She used the jutsu and a spear of lightning came out of her mouth as well, however, it was much weaker and didn't travel as far. Not bad for a first try. Now I must be going. Keep working on those two jutsus and be sure to have them down for tomorrow. Kakashi said as he shunshined back to the village. You are doing very well, Kyoko. I am proud of how far you have come. Now I want you to keep working on those jutsus Kakashi gave you and I will be watching to in case you have any questions. Naruto told her. Kyoko nodded and decided to get the lightning shadow clone jutsu down first and she would worry about the false darkness jutsu later. Her 2 hours of lightning jutsu training seemed to fly by fast and it was time to work on water jutsus which Naruto actually knew. Okay, good job on the lightning jutsu. Now I will be teaching you some useful water jutsus. It seems you already know the first one I was going to teach you, so here is the other called water prison jutsu. It will be a change of style so you can trap your opponent rather than attack him. It will be a surprise to your opponents if you went on the defensive rather than offensive. Naruto explained as he demonstrated the jutsu. It was a good thing they were near a source of water, otherwise they would be exhausted very fast. The continued training on these two jutsus for the rest of the time scheduled for water jutsu, and what they were going to start doing next was very exciting for Kyoko, Kenjutsu. You did well today so far, but now we need to work on your Kenjutsu. We won't actually start Kenjutsu today, but instead we are going back Soragaku to find you a sword. Naruto decided, and they her eyes shined back to their village. Naruto and Kyoko arrived at the weapons shop in Soragaku and began to look at all of the different types of swords. Kyoko found a nice long black katana with a red stripe on the hilt and on the sheath, as well as a black blade. Naruto went with something similar, but the blade was a silver color instead of black, and they both had the store owner put the Uzumaki clan symbol in the middle of the hilt as well as the end of the sheath. Okay, I will allow you to run home and grab some things if you wish, as well as tell your parents about what's going on, and invite them to the finals of the Chunin exams. Naruto told her. Okay, Naruto-sensei, where should I meet you? Kyoko questioned, not wanting to be left behind. How about back here in 30 minutes? I will be catching up with what's going on in the village as well as getting some Uzumaki clan scrolls for the water jutsu, as well as maybe a summoning contract for you, and some Fuinjutsu scrolls. Naruto told her. Okay, sensei, thank you. With that they went their separate ways and Kyoko went and told her parents. After she told them she still had plenty of time to spare, so she decided to wander the village a bit and take in the sights. A little bit into the walk, a kind of new friend of hers came up to her. Hey Kyoko-chan. The somewhat tall dark-haired boy called. Oh hi, Arashi. Kyoko greeted softly, somewhat interested in what the boy wanted with what the boy had to say to her. Arashi was a little bit tall for his age and had black hair and black eyes. He wore his Soragaku headband around his waist and wore his hair similar to how Naruto did before he grew it out. He wore a plain black t-shirt, black shinobi pants with a kunai holster on his right leg, a red sash, a bandage going down both arms, but had the hand of his right arm bandaged as well, and wore plain black shinobi sandals. He wasn't too bad looking and many girls would probably want to date him, and he was only 14. He was a Chunin of Soragaku and Kyoko hated to admit it, but she too has a little crush on this guy. I heard you made it to the finals of the Chunin exams, Arashi started. I am a bit pleasantly surprised to see you here. While you're here, would you like to head to Ichiraku's with me for some ramen? I'll pay and we can call it a date if you want. He said with a light smirk, hoping she would say yes. Sure, why not? I don't have to meet my sensei for another 20 minutes or so. I have to head back to Konoha with him so I can train for the finals. With that they headed over to Ichiraku. So, who is training you anyway? Arashi asked, a bit surprised to find that they were able to come back here and make it back to Konoha in time for the finals and still train. I am not really supposed to tell, but you can find out if you're able to make it to watch me kick butt in my match. She told him with a grin. I might just have to do that. I really like you, you know that. Arashi told her with a smile. Is that your way of asking me to start dating you? 'Cause if yes, I don't mind giving it a chance. Kyoko told him. With that, they began talking and realized they had a lot in common, and before they knew it, it was time to go. Well, I guess this is goodbye for now. I will definitely be there for your match in a couple weeks, I promise. Arashi told her with a smile as he leant over and gave her a kiss on the cheek and sunshined away, leaving Kyoko to her thoughts. So, you and Arashi Naruto asked, jumping Kyoko back to the real world and scared her. Why yes, Naruto-sensei. Kyoko managed to stutter out. Well, I can't say I expected it, but good for you. I am sorry we have to leave him now, but no one can find out about our training just yet. Hi, I understand, Naruto-sensei. I was just surprised about today and all, but I am ready to go get back to training now when you are. She said as she straightened up and they hurried away back to their training ground. With Hinata and Rin, your taijutsu is coming along great, Rin, but you will need much more in order to even come close to winning the Chunin exams. I know for a fact that your teammate's training will be far from easy, and she hasn't been around in a while either. So I think it's time we start training in your affinity. Here is a chakra affinity card, just channel your chakra through it and we will see what you have. Hinata explained, being very proud of how far her student has come. Hi Hinata-sensei. Rin channeled her chakra into the card and it burned, showing she had an affinity for fire. This will be interesting, but let me see what scrolls one can find on fire jutsu. I am a water and fire user myself, so I can show you the few jutsus I learned since I primarily use taijutsu. I want you to work on this jutsu while I am gone. Here is a scroll on how to channel your affinity chakra, and here is the jutsu I want you to learn. It's Kaden. Fireball Jutsu. Hinata explained to her, hoping it wouldn't be too hard. Thank you, Hinata-sensei. Rin called after he as she walked away, really hoping to find Naruto at his training ground. She approached the training ground and was happy to see that Naruto and Kyoko were there talking, and figured they had finished for the day since it was getting late. Hey Hinata-chan. Is there something you need? Kyoko and I just finished up the training for the day and we just got back from Soragaku, so we are pretty tired. Naruto asked as he saw his fiancée come towards them in the center of the training ground. I was wondering if you had any scrolls on fire jutsu I could borrow for my student. I can't really be much help to her since my primary affinity is water. Hinata questioned, piquing Kyoko's interest on just who Hinata could be training. I have some you could have, but not many since I am not much of a fire user either. I would try asking Kakashi-sensei or Itachi if they have some you could borrow. But since Itachi is in Soragaku, Kakashi is your only option really. Naruto told her as he dug around his bag and handed her 3 scrolls on fire jutsu. Thanks Naruto-kun, I won't be too much later to the hotel since we have been training all day as well. And with that, Hinata sunshined back to her student. Who is she training anyway? Kyoko asked, being very curious. That is for you to find out at the finals. Now go take a break for the rest of the night, get something to eat and head back to the hotel. It's getting late and we have training bright and early tomorrow. Naruto commanded. Hi sensei. And with that, Kyoko ran off to try and find her teammate to find out who was training her, and Naruto shined to Hinata. Hey Hinata. Hi Rin. Naruto greeted as he arrived. Hi Sarakage-sama. Rin greeted enthusiastically, very happy that her own Kage came to see them, and he received a hug from Hinata. I heard your training was going well, Rin. I am happy to hear that you and Kyoko made it into the finals of the exams on your first try. Naruto told her with a warm smile. You are finished for today, Rin. Get plenty of rest and meet me here tomorrow same time as today for more training. Hinata told her student, receiving a nod as she ran off. So we should start planning our wedding. Naruto told her with a big foxy grin. When do you think we should have it? I don't think it should be too soon since we are both still young. Hinata told him, becoming a bit shy again. How about 1 year from today? It gives us plenty of time to plan, and plenty of time to get the village up and running for sure. Naruto suggested. Sounds good Naruto-kun. Hinata agreed as he pulled into a long passionate kiss. A week later the duo were still going at it and they now had only 2 more weeks to fully prepare for the Chunin exams, and it just hit Naruto that he never asked who she was facing in the finals or how the previous parts of the Chunin exams went. Okay Kyoko, leave some clones to train and come here. Naruto called her over. What is it Naruto-sensei? She asked once she reached him. I've been meaning to ask, who exactly are you facing in the Chunin exam finals? Naruto questioned. I thought you already knew, I am facing Hanabi Hyuga. She said nervously. Hey, that brings back memories to my Chunin exam final. Naruto told her as he thought back to the time he beat Neji in the first match of the finals, surprising the whole crowd, even his own teammates and sensei. You Neji-sensei, right? She asked, thinking back to when Neji told her how Naruto saved him from darkness and made him not hate the main branch of the Hyuga. Correct. Now that I know who you're facing, I think we should change up your training schedule a bit. You have become really proficient in Kenjutsu as well as Fuinjutsu, so I think we can take a bit of a break on those for now anyway. So here is the new schedule, and it will be a lot more intense than ever due to the time frame we have. 0600 0700. Warm-ups and stretches, as well as 5 laps around training area at a light jog. 0700 0900. Work on new jutsu. 0900 1100. Full-out taijutsu practice, mostly spars, and increase weights to maximum each day. 1100 1300. Work on lightning affinity jutsu. 1300 1330. Quick lunch break. 1330 1600. Water affinity jutsu. 1600 1700. Work on non-affinity jutsus. 1700 1800. Work on strategies. 1800 2000. Work on whatever needs the most work from that day and a bit of Fuinjutsu and Kenjutsu if time allows. 2000 0500. Break. Well, there is your new schedule. It is a lot more work than before, but I believe that you can do it. Naruto told her as he handed her a copy of the schedule. What is this new jutsu that you will be teaching me? Kyoko asked excitedly. You will have to wait and see, but there are also no promises that you will have it down by the finals, so don't be too disappointed if you can't get it. Naruto explained to her. Don't worry sensei, I will have it down no problem no matter what it is. She told her with a grin. Good, now I want you to tell me how the previous rounds worked as well as some info on your opponents. This will be crucial if you wish to succeed and become a Chunin. I won't automatically make you once because I am teaching you. You need to work hard at it just like all of the others. Naruto told her sternly. Hi, Naruto-sensei. Now I will start with the competitors. First off there is Hyuga Hanabi. She is the same age as Konohamaru, Moegi, and Udon, and I believe that they graduated from the academy together. She only uses her clan's taijutsu style and will be the next clan head due to Hinata-san joining Soragaku. Then there is my teammate Rin, who is pretty good at ninjutsu and genjutsu but needs work on strategy, taijutsu and teamwork. Then there is also Teiko from our village as well, but I don't know her too well, but from what I have seen from her fight she's a pretty good fighter, and can use minimum lighting affinity jutsus. I believe she didn't give away too much of her abilities on purpose and was hiding some things, which I believe was clever. Then there's Sachiko, who I believe has a high earth affinity as she had some good earth-style jutsus. The rest I'm not too sure on as there wasn't much time to get a good read on their abilities, but they seemed good enough to make it this far. Kyoko perceived. That's pretty impressive being able to read your opponents like that in such a short period of time. We will work on that more, but now it's time for me to show you this new jutsu so you can work on it as you tell me how the other rounds went. What happened next surprised Kyoko like no tomorrow. Naruto was showing her the Rasengan and he was about to teach her such an advanced jutsu. It was almost unbelievable. It was a week later that Kyoko was finally getting some of the Rasengan down as there were many holes in the ground of their training ground. I think I am finally starting to get the hang of this Naruto-sensei. I feel like I can almost reach it, but it's not quite there yet. Kyoko told him excitedly. She was getting nervous with only 1 week until the Chunin exams, but she began to feel confident in her newfound abilities. She had become quite good in lighting affinity jutsus thanks to Kakashi-sensei, and water was coming along as well, just not as powerful. That is very good, Kyoko. Keep up the good work, and maybe we can take it a little bit easy today and perfect some of your jutsus. Naruto suggested, seeing that it was reaching 0900. Hi, Naruto-sensei, just let me take one more shot, I feel that I nearly have it. And with that, Kyoko began to gather chakra into the palm of her hand. After a few seconds, a Rasengan formed, though it was not complete. It looked pretty good for someone who has been learning it the amount of time that she has. Looks good so far, Kyoko. Now that's it's 0900, let's start working on your taijutsu. Naruto said, receiving a nod from Kyoko. With Hinata and Rin, you're doing great with your training so far, Rin. Hinata told her with a warm smile, being proud of how her student was coming along. Thank you, Hinata-sensei. Can we work on some water-style jutsus? Rin requested with hope. Sure. Let me see the water clone jutsu I taught you first. Hinata requested, and Rin made 2 perfect water clones of herself. Good job. Now how about the water prison jutsu? Hinata requested once more. Rin was able to do it but had a little bit more difficulty. Good. Your taijutsu has improved immensely as well as your water jutsus. I believe it is time for me to show you new one, here it goes. Water style. Water wall. Hinata said as she used the hand signs of tiger, snake, rat, snake, tiger. That's awesome, sensei. Now I have another defensive jutsu. Is there any chance I could get an offensive one as well? Rin asked her sensei hopefully. Perfect water wall and I will, okay. Hinata told her softly. Okay, I guess. Rin said as she got to work on her new jutsu. Rin was becoming pretty proficient at performing water-style jutsus and was sure to become Chunin if she could work a bit more on strategy. Back with Naruto and Kyoko. It was reaching the end of their time on taijutsu, and Kyoko had just nearly beaten Naruto's shadow clone fighting at Chunin level. Good job, Kyoko. You nearly beat the Chunin version of my shadow clone, not bad. But now it is time to work on your lighting affinity. I am going to be helping you today the best I can due to Kakashi-sensei being a bit busy today. How is Chidori coming along? Naruto questioned curiously to find out just how far she has come along in lightning-style jutsus. I can perform it up to 2 times without exhausting myself. She stated quite proudly of herself. Not bad at all, Kyoko. I see Kakashi has been treating you well. Naruto told her with a smile. Yeah, he's great except that he shows up 2 hours late every time nearly. Kyoko joked. Okay, I decided we are going to work on a new lightning-style jutsu. I already set up for you to meet with Kakashi and he should be here any second now. Naruto told her, and as if on cue he showed up. Yo. He greeted with his usual eye smile. Hi Kakashi-sensei. Kyoko replied. This is where I leave you for now. I'll be back around 13:30 to pick you up so we can go work on some water jutsus. Naruto decided. Okay Naruto-sensei, I promise to work hard. Kyoko told him with a smile. And with that, Naruto left in a bright flash of yellow back to the Hokage Tower to speak with Tsunade. Hey Bakan. Naruto said as he arrived in her office. Don't do that, brat. Don't you know any manners? Tsunade asked him angrily. Yeah, but it is much more fun to just arrive without you knowing. Naruto replied with a cheeky grin. Whatever. What is it you want, brat? Tsunade asked, a bit annoyed now. Just wanted to stop by and see how you were doing. Also, do you have the line up for the matches of the Chunin exam finals? Naruto requested. Sure, brat, but I am pretty confident that Konoha will crush Sora in the finals. Tsunade told him, careful to not make it into a bet since she always loses. Well, thanks for the lineups. I got to go see how Hinata-chan and her student are doing. And with that he left her in a yellow flash. With Hinata and Rin. Hey Hinata-chan. Naruto greeted as he flashed in. Oh hi Naruto-kun, what are you doing here? Hinata asked softly while watching her student work hard on a jutsu. I decided to stop by and see how everything was going since Kakashi-sensei is working with my student on some jutsus I can't help her too well with. Naruto told her. Oh, well, we are doing good. Rin here has become very efficient in water ninjutsu. Hinata praised her student highly. I am very pleased to hear that. My student is very efficient in ninjutsu as well, and you guys will just have to wait and see who it is. Naruto told them cheekily with a grin. Oh Naruto-kun, I already know who it is, it's Rin that you're bugging. Hinata chuckled. Well, looks like it's time to go get something to eat. You two want to come? It will be my treat, we can go get Ichiraku. Naruto offered. Sure Naruto-kun, what about you Rin? Hinata asked. Sure. Thank you so very much, Sarakage-sama. Rin decided. Naruto then grabbed onto them and flashed them to the ramen stand. They ordered and Naruto decided to find out more about Rin and how her training has been going. So Rin, how do you like your teammate who also made it into the finals of the Chunin exams? Naruto questioned, surprising Rin, who was not expecting to be asked that. Kyoko is alright, she is strong-willed and a pretty good kunoichi. Rin told him after taking a minute to think about it. Would you be okay with facing her in the finals? Naruto asked curiously. I will have to fight her if we both win in the first round, she would be my second opponent. Rin replied, honestly excited about the idea of having to face her rival, as well as best friend in the finals. Do you consider her a friend and rival? Naruto asked as he began to eat his beloved ramen. She is definitely my number one rival as well as my best friend. We have gotten really close over the time we have been together on a team, and I could not have asked for a better one. Rin declared, who also began to eat her ramen, and Naruto and Hinata both smiled at the thought. Well, I am glad to hear that. Naruto told her with a smile and looked at the time. Thank you Naruto-sama. Rin smiled at him. Well, looks like it's time to start heading back. I must get back to my student, and I am sure you two want to get back to training as well. Naruto said as he grabbed them and flashed them away after leaving the money on the counter for the ramen. Thank you for lunch Naruto-kun. Hinata said as he gave her a kiss on the lips. Yes, thank you Naruto-sama. Rin bowed politely. It wasn't a problem at all, maybe we can all go after the finals again. I must leave you now, I don't want to turn into Kakashi-sensei and be late all the time. Naruto joked as he flashed away. You are lucky to have someone like him, Hinata-sensei. Rin told her a bit jealously. I know I am, but don't worry, I am sure you will find someone soon. Now let's get back to training on that new jutsu. Hinata told her. Hi, Hinata-sensei. Rin yelled enthusiastically. Back with Kakashi and Kyoko a bit before Naruto appeared. Well, there isn't too much more I can teach you in lightning jutsu that I think you could handle. Kakashi told Kyoko. Does that mean that I am done with training with you, Kakashi-sensei? Kyoko asked a bit, said that they would be done with their training. Well, I could teach you the summoning jutsu if you liked. Kakashi said, really taking a liking to Kyoko. Really? You mean it Kakashi-sensei? Kyoko asked him excitedly. Well, I need to ask Pakun to make sure it's okay with the dogs, but it should be fine with them. Kakashi decided as he summoned Pakun. Yo Kakashi, what's up? The little brown and black dog asked. Well, I would like for young Kyoko here to sign your summoning contract if that is alright with you. Kakashi requested. I guess it's fine if you're okay with it Kakashi. Pakun decided. Thank you Pakun-san. Kyoko exclaimed excitedly. I guess I will be seeing you soon. And with that the dog poofed away in a cloud of smoke. Okay, bite your thumb, with blood put your fingerprints here and sign your name in blood. Kakashi told her. Okay, now what? Kyoko asked after she signed the contract. Perform these hand signs, bite your thumb to draw blood, and place your hand on the ground to summon a dog. Kakashi demonstrated without summoning a dog. Kyoko did this and managed to summon a little puppy. Hi there. You must be the new summoner. My name is Sakin. You may summon me at any time to deliver messages, or even just to hang out. Sorry to say that I am not that great at combat yet since I am still young, but I can be a great help in many other things. Sakin introduced himself, proving to be quite friendly. Nice to meet you, Sakin. My name is Kyoko. Thank you for allowing me to summon you, and I can't wait to be partners with you. Kyoko introduced herself and Sakin disappeared. That went well, but that is enough today since Naruto should be back any second. And as if on cue, Naruto showed up as soon as he said that. Hey guys, how was training? Naruto asked his former sensei and new student. They went well. Kyoko here is a great learner, but I am afraid I have taught her all that I can for the time being. I believe that she should focus on the other stuff for now, but rest up for a few days before the finals, she will need it. Kakashi commented. Good to know, thanks Kakashi sensei for all of your help. Naruto thanked him and Kakashi went on his way. So what are we going to do now, Naruto sensei? Kyoko asked, a little bit tired from using so much chakra between lighting jutsus and the new summoning jutsu Kakashi had given her. He gave me the summoning contract for the dogs. I summoned this puppy called Sakin. Kyoko told him, very proud of the fact that she could summon. I was considering giving you one of my summoning contracts, but Kakashi beat me to it. It works out though, since I can save it for one of my kids now though. There is not really too much more that I can teach you right now either, and we still have a week until the Chunin finals. I think that you should take the rest of the day off to practice on your own, relax and stuff like that, and I will see if I can get someone I know to help you out with some medical ninjutsu. It will be a good thing to learn in case you get injured during the finals, you can begin to heal yourself. Naruto explained to her. Thank you, Naruto sensei. Kyoko thanked him and Naruto left in a yellow flash to find Sakura. Hey Sakura, Naruto said as he flashed to her, who just so happened to be in the Hokage's office. Oh Naruto, you're back, I see. What is it? Sakura asked, a little surprised to see him. I was wondering if you could teach my new student some medical ninjutsu for the finals as well as your chakra enhanced punches. Naruto asked, hopeful that she will say yes. I guess I could help this student of yours out a bit. But she better be worth my time or else you will regret it. Sakura threatened, and Naruto knew very well that she could hold the threat. Thanks Sakura-chan, her name is Uzumaki Kyoko. Naruto told her with a smile. Oh, so she's related to you, that explains why you're training her. Sakura said as she put two and two together. Yup, she's my little cousin. With that, Naruto used the Hiraishin and flashed them to where Kyoko awaited. Naruto-sensei, I didn't think you would be back so soon. Kyoko exclaimed, a little bit surprised and happy. Only for a brief minute. This is my old teammate Sakura, and she has agreed to train you in medical ninjutsu as well as chakra-enhanced taijutsu, which I believe will help you immensely. Naruto explained. Nice to meet you, Sakura-san. Kyoko greeted happily. Nice to meet you too. Now I hope that you are ready to work hard for the next couple of days, because we will be working on nothing but what I agreed to teach you. Sakura said with an evil grin, and Naruto took that as his cue to leave. Kyoko had been training with Sakura for 4 days now and only had 3 days left until the finals of the Chunin exams, and she was sure getting nervous. In these 3 days, her chakra control improved greatly and could perform basic healing techniques as well as some chakra-enhanced punches and kicks, but not nearly as good as Sakura or Tsunade's. This was her last day of training with Sakura, and she was a bit sad that it was over, as she enjoyed learning some new things. Well, this is the end of our training for now, Kyoko. Maybe after the finals and everything I can help you out a bit more, but for now I believe Naruto wants you. Sakura told her with a smile as she sensed Naruto had arrived at the training grounds as they had planned. Thank you for everything, Sakura-sensei. Kyoko thanked her with a slight bow. No problem, Kyoko. I must be going now. Tsunade-sama wanted to speak to me about the finals after the training and it seemed important. Sakura told them and they waved goodbye. Okay Kyoko. Sakura told me the training she put you through, and I am proud at how far you have come in the 1-month period of time we have trained together. But this is where our training must end, I am afraid. Naruto told her with a small smile. But Naruto-sensei, there must be more that I can learn, isn't there? Kyoko asked, slightly surprised at her sensei. Yes, there will always be more that you can learn, so never stop. But for these 3 days I want you to study your opponents, as well as tactics and strategies and nothing else. Your body needs its rest these days before the finals, but your mind can use some training. Naruto told her as he patted her on the head. Okay, I guess. Kyoko said with a frown. How about I take you for some lunch with Hinata and your teammate? Naruto suggested, trying to cheer her up a little. Okay, thanks. She replied happily, showing that it had worked and that an Uzumaki can never say no to ramen, knowing very well that that's what they were going to be getting. Naruto grabbed her shoulder and her eye shined them back to the training ground next to Hinata's. Wait here, Kyoko, I will go get Hinata and your teammate. Naruto told her as he flashed away and was back within seconds. Kyoko-chan, it's been so long since I have seen you. Rin exclaimed as she arrived via Horizon, happy to see her teammate after so long. It's good to see you too, Rin-chan. Kyoko told her with a smile, also happy to see her teammate after so long. Well, let's get going before it's too late. Naruto exclaimed, excited for his ramen as the Harai shined to Ichiraku ramen. Hey old man, Naruto called as they arrived at his favorite stand. Oi Naruto, it's been a while since we have seen you here, what have you been up to? Tyuki questioned, missing the blonde Kage, and all the money he always received from him. Oh, you know, just busy being Kage and being in Konoha for the Chunin exams. Naruto explained while he scratched his head. Well, in honor of the Chunin exams, first round of ramen is on the house. Tyuki announced to Naruto and his group, which made everyone cheer. So Kyoko-chan, how is your training for the finals going? Rin questioned, hoping to get who has been training her out of her. It went well. My sensei told me to take the rest of the days off physically and prepare mentally. That was when my cousin Naruto here asked me to go out to dinner with him and catch up, where we also decided to invite you too. Kyoko explained carefully, trying not to give anything away about being trained by the Sarakage. That's awesome, my sensei told me to do the same thing. I learned so much from my sensei and I couldn't have asked for a better one, though I wish I knew who was training you. Rin told her, hoping she would give. Yeah, well, you will see in 3 days when I start my fight. You will definitely know who is training me after that, and honestly I had a couple teachers. Kyoko told her with a grin. Naruto and Hinata were off in their own world while this conversation was happening while they were eating their ramen, and you could see how much they loved each other. Sarakage-sama and Hinata-sama really do love each other, don't they? I wish I could find someone to be with, and love like that, don't you? Rin asked softly. Well, honestly, I already kind of did. I went back to the village with Naruto-sama and I ran into this guy that I knew and we went out to dinner. Kyoko told her with a slight grin. I am guessing I have to wait till the finals to find out who he is as well, don't I? Rin asked, a bit upset that they were keeping so many secrets from each other, and was also a bit jealous. Yup. Sorry, Rin-chan. They finished the rest of their ramen in silence and then it was time to go. Well, it is time for us to go. I will Horizon us back to the hotel. I want to wish the both of you the best of luck in the finals, do our village proud. Naruto told them with a smile as they flashed away back to Konoha. Thank you, Sarakage-sama, we will. They both said as they went to their rooms and went to sleep. What are you going to do now, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked curiously. Well, since it's not too late, I am going to head back to Soragakur and see how it's going there with Shikamaru in charge. Want to come? Naruto asked her, being hopeful. Sure, Naruto-kun, I have nothing better to do tonight anyway, might as well. Hinata told him happily and they flashed away. Yo, Shikamaru, Naruto said as he arrived in the office. Everything okay, Naruto? Shikamaru asked as he thought how troublesome it would be if something had happened. Everything is fine, Shikamaru. I just wanted to hear a report on how many people have decided to join our village and by rank, as well as shops and restaurants. Naruto requested, making Shikamaru sigh. Okay, fine. Here are the reports from the past couple weeks. Shikamaru said, handing him a scroll which read: Recently joined people, shops and restaurants. 30 civilians. 4 restaurant owners, restaurants. 3 weapons shop owners, shops. 5 ninja apparel stores. 1 food market, I don't know what they call it, lol. 12 genin ranked ninja. 8 chunin ranked ninja. 10 junin ranked ninja. 2 anbu ranked ninja. Not bad at all. Now if only Sasuke Tem would come here, this village would become invincible. Naruto said a bit jokingly. Yeah, it's troublesome, but this village is coming along and can actually be counted as a village now. Shikamaru told him. Thanks for your help, Shikamaru. I must return back to Konoha for the exams. Naruto said as he flashed back with Hinata. Troublesome blonde, Shikamaru thought as he got back to helping out with the paperwork. It was finally the day Kyoko and all of the other Chunin hopefuls have been waiting for, the Chunin exam finals. Kyoko was nervous like there was no tomorrow, but she knew that she was well prepared thanks to her older cousin Naruto. Honestly, she didn't know where she would be if he hadn't come along and offered to train her like he had. She was now on her way to meet up with Arashi as well as her other teammate Rin, to walk to the stadium together. The day was perfect for the finals with a nice bright blue sky, and the sun was shining brightly. Hey Kyoko-chan, Arashi called as he saw her walking towards him in the distance. Hi Arashi-kun, it's a great day for the finals, isn't it? Kyoko asked him, trying to make small talk until her teammate arrived. Yup. You are lucky. When I had my finals it was wet and raining, it was a miserable day to be fighting. But I guess it worked in favor with my water style techniques. If I was competing today, fire techniques and lightning would shine today. Arashi told her, keeping a small smile on his face the whole time. Oh look. There's Rin-chan, we better get going to the stadium, I don't want to be late. The rest of the way was covered in an awkward silence with no one saying a word. Arashi didn't say anything, fearing to give away being with Kyoko. Rin was too nervous, and Kyoko was nervous that she would have to end up fighting Rin in the second round of the finals. They arrived at the arena to see that they were some of the first contestants to arrive, with only 2 others having showed up already, one of them being Hanabi Hyuga and Teiko Jiyu, who was also sporting a new look. We are still waiting on the last 4 contestants, Sachiko Yami, Shikomari Nara, Shumiji Akamaiki, and Taichiko. The matches will start in about 30 minutes, so here is the lineup once again so you are familiar with it. The proctor told them while holding up a sheet of paper that read: Match 1. Kyoko Uzumaki vs. Hanabi Hyuga. Match 2. Rin Kiga vs. Taichiko. Match 3. Sachiko Yami vs. Shikomari Nara. Match 4. Teiko Jiyu vs. Shumiji Akamaiki. Match 5. Winner of 1 vs. winner of 2. Match 6. Winner of 3 vs. winner of 4. Match 7 for 3rd place. Loser of 5 vs. loser of 6. Finals. Winner of 5 vs. winner of 6. I hope you guys prepared well, because all of these spectators came just to watch you fight, so put on your best performance if you wish to become Chunin as well as bring missions to your villages. The proctor explained. You ready, Rin? Kyoko asked with a light grin on her face. I think so. My sensei was great, what about you? Rin asked. I know I am ready, I had the best sensei anyone could ask for. She replied with a bigger grin. With the cage. Greetings Hokage Dono, Kazekage Dono. Naruto greeted. Hello Sarakage Dono, your travel was without troubles I assume. Gaara in his usual monotone voice. Of course, couldn't be better. I believe you both know my bodyguards, Hinata Hyuga and Jiraiya. Naruto asked with a small grin while Hinata just smiled. Of course I know that pervert. So you're sticking with the brat, are you, Jiraiya? Tsunade asked, kind of hopeful since she too would soon be joining them. Someone's got to take care of him other than Hinata here. Jiraiya replied with a smile. Good to hear that. It looks like the rest of the finalists finally showed up. We better get started soon. Tsunade told them, receiving nods of agreement. Welcome all to the Chunin exam finals. I hope you all had safe travels getting here, and that there will be no problems throughout the finals. Please do not leave until all of the fights are complete out of respect for the fighters. If you have any issues, feel free to bring them up to any of the Anbu station throughout the stadium and they will do their best to help you. Tsunade announced, giving a nod to the proctor to start at any time. Okay, will Kyoko Uzumaki and Hanabi Hyuga please stay down here and the rest go into the waiting area? The contestants complied, leaving in a hurry except the lazy Nara, of course. Here is how it works. Fight with intent to kill, as killing is allowed, but I will try to step in before it gets to that point. The fight is over when one contestant is unable to fight, being knocked out or killed. I determine it's over, or your opponent concedes. Any questions? The proctor asked and received no answers. Good. Begin. The proctor announced. With the cages. Anyone up for some bets? Naruto asked with a cheeky grin. You're on, brat. My bet is on Hanabi. Tsunade said. Mine is on Kyoko. Gaara said, implying that he was in on this bet. What shall we wager here? Asked the Hokage with a grin. 5,000 ryo sounds good. Naruto decided, receiving nods. Back with the contestants. As soon as the proctor began the fight, Hanabi ran in hoping to have the upper hand with hand-to-hand combat, but Kyoko had other plans and decided to play it safe and send in some shadow clones to do some fighting while she hid and kept an eye out for an opening and attack. Shadow clone jutsu. Kyoko called out as 15 shadow clones appeared, which seemed to be as many as she can make without losing a good amount of chakra. Kyoko used the cover of the shadow clones to go up into the closest tree and hide with only the higher-ranking ninja noticed. Hanabi took about 2 minutes to kill off most of the shadow clones with her Juken attacks, and Kyoko decided it was time to try out fighting her for herself before Hanabi herself, now that she received the memory of her clones. Well, it seems like you did a good number on my shadow clones. Kyoko said with a grin, noticing that Hanabi was looking a bit tired but not exactly exhausted. Hey, what, were you too much of a coward to fight me yourself? Hanabi taunted. No, not at all. You wish that was the reason though. Kyoko threw a few kunai with explosive notes hiding in them, which were easily deflected, but she set them off as soon as they got to Hanabi, but weren't strong enough to do damage due to the jutsu she performed that shocked even her own father. 8 trigrams palms revolving heaven. Which deflected all of the kunai. Damn, I might have to reveal that jutsu just to get through that thing. Here I was hoping to save it for the final match. Kyoko thought to herself. Looks like not even your explosive notes can damage my rotation jutsu. What will you do now? Hanabi taunted, thinking that she will easily win the match now. I still have plenty of tricks up my sleeve, she said as she threw some smoke bombs to quickly switch places with her clone that she had hide out in the tree once she left. She then had the clone throw some shuriken at Hanabi to get her to start fighting again, and it had worked as her clone was quickly attacked. You have come into range of one of my strongest attacks. 8 trigrams 64 palms. Hanabi called as she performed one of the Hyuga's most powerful attacks. Kyoko was smart and she knew this would happen, so she loaded the clone with a bit of extra chakra in hopes to keep it alive for a short while after, and it did, and she quickly replaced herself with the clone on the ground to the shock of all. It seems as if I would have been done for if that actually hit me. Thankfully it was my clone. Kyoko told her with a smirk as she started gathering chakra in the palm of her hand to quickly attack. That can't be what I think it is, can it? Hanabi quickly questioning, finally realizing who it was who had trained Kyoko for the finals, none other than the Sarakage himself. This is it. Kyoko yelled as she ran towards Hanabi, who was caught in shock but performed the Kaden just in time, hoping to deflect the attack. The two powerful techniques collided and a huge explosion occurred with a big cloud of smoke, and no one could tell who was left standing. Cage booth. Was that the Rasengan? Tsunade asked, a little bit worried at the thought of a second Naruto. Yep, and you still haven't even seen half of what she could do. I'd say that it was about 40% of her true power, maybe not even. Naruto said while grinning with Jiraiya and Hinata shaking their heads at his foolishness. Impressive that your brat managed to learn so much in 1 month's time. Tsunade muttered to him. Back onto the battlefield. Kyoko was the one left standing, but Hanabi was managing to make her way back up out of the hole only to see a big smirk on Kyoko's face. She was about to activate her Byakugan but was quickly stopped when she stood up and noticed a black blade at her neck. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Now I suggest you surrender or I will cut your neck. Kyoko whispered into her ear while the Kyoko she had just seen in front of her left in a poof of smoke, showing it was a shadow clone that she must have created in the cover of smoke. Proctor, I forfeit. Hanabi told him grudgingly, not happy to have lost to this Uzumaki from a brand new village. Okay, winner by forfeit, Kyoko Uzumaki. The proctor announced, and it had Kyoko receiving a mass amount of applause from everyone throughout the stadium, especially her teammates and her lover. Kyoko then went to find Arashi and Rin. Good job, Kyoko, I knew you could do it. Arashi told her with a smile as she walked up. I never would have guessed that the Sorakage would have been teaching you this whole month. Rin exclaimed. Yeah, well, he told me he wanted to help me since I was his cousin and stuff like that. But hey, you got his fiancé to teach you, which was good too. Kyoko told her. True, I guess. Rin said with a small smile. Will Rin and Taichiko please come down to the battlefield? The proctor called. Well, that's my cue. Wish me luck. Rin said as she ran down the stairs. Will Rin, Kiga and Taichiko please come down to the fighting area so we can begin? The proctor requested. Well, wish my luck, Kyoko. If I win, that means I will be fighting you in the next round. Rin told her, adding the last part a bit softer than the first. Kick Taichiko's butt. Kyoko told her with a grin, receiving a nod as Rin went down the stairs. Think she can beat Taichiko? Arashi asked her. I know she can, she just needs the confidence to do so. Kyoko told him, having faith in her longtime friend and rival. Well, let us see what she got as a ninja. Arashi told her, turning his attention to the battleground. I've become a lot stronger than I used to be, Taichiko. Rin told him with a small smirk. We will see about that, Rin. I still plan to beat you. Taichiko shot back. Match begin. The proctor announced, dodging out of the way to a safe location. Show me what you got, Rin. Taichiko taunted, hoping to get her agitated. You asked for it. Rin then charged to try out hand-to-hand combat that Hinata had taught her, and it seemed to be doing okay. You won't get me that easily, Rin. Taichiko told her with a smirk. Water style. Water prison. Rin announced, hoping to have her opponent captured due to him being on the pond that was close, but he managed to get out of the way with a substitution before he could get caught. You are going to have to do better. Taichiko told her, rushing in at her with a kunai in hand, making Rin pull out one as well. The two then clashed, showing that Taichiko had more strength, but Rin managed to do a mini chakra-enhanced punch thanks to Hinata's training and landed a clean hit on Taichiko's stomach, causing the wind to be blown out of him. Taichiko was now on the ground, panting heavily, but was slowly making his way back to his feet. That was a good hit, Rin, but don't think you've won yet since you seem to be a bit tired yourself. Taichiko told her with a smirk. He's right, I will have to end this as soon as I can, and hopefully I will be on the winning end. Rin thought while panting a little. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Taichiko called, hoping to catch Rin off guard. Water style. Water bullet. Rin countered with the water jutsu, overpowering the fire jutsu, but she knew that she is now running out of chakra. You aren't that bad, a lot better than I expected. Taichiko then charged, getting into a taijutsu fight since he too was running out of chakra, but little did he know that Hinata had taught Rin taijutsu as well. Rin was able to get the upper hand with the ability to add chakra to her punches, even if it was a little, and was managing to do a good bit of damage to Taichiko. I'm running out of stamina and chakra, I won't be able to keep this up much longer. Looks like I will end up having to use a genjutsu on him just to end it. Rin thought to herself. I'm running out of chakra, I will have to end this soon since I definitely cannot keep up with Rin in taijutsu much longer thanks to those annoying chakra-enhanced punches. Taichiko thought with a grimace. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Taichiko announced, hoping that he could end it with that jutsu so close to his opponent. That was a close one. Thankfully I was able to use the replacement jutsu to get out of there. Demonic illusion. Tree binding death. Rin announced, showing just how proficient she could be with her chakra control by completing a B rank genjutsu. She managed to catch Taichiko off guard and caught him in the genjutsu while making the binding as strong as she could without knocking him out. Forfeit, or I will kill you. Rin threatened with a smirk while holding a kunai at his neck. Fine, Proctor, I give. Taichiko said while slightly fearing for his life. Winner by forfeit, Rin Kiga. The Proctor announced, making the crowd cheer rather loudly for the young pretty Kunoichi, even if she was from a new village that no one really knew anything about. Rin then made her way back up to the area where all of the other contestants were waiting to be greeted by Arashi and Kyoko. Good job, Rin, I knew you could do it. Kyoko told her with a smile. Thanks, Kyoko, it wasn't easy though. Rin softly. I bet you're exhausted, but on a good note, by the looks of how you fought, you should have a good shot at Chunin along with Kyoko. Arashi told them while looking proudly at his girlfriend. Thanks, Arashi-kun, that means a lot. Kyoko told him quietly while Rin nodded in agreement. It's the truth, so no thanks needed really. Arashi told them while laughing slightly. So when did you become a Chunin? Rin questioned. I was given the rank Chunin when they just tested me for my skill to enter the village. Arashi explained. Seems like you got a lucky break then, right? Rin asked him. Yeah, I guess. Arashi responded sheepishly. When did you join the village, Arashi-kun? Kyoko asked, realizing she never did find out when or why he joined. Well, I joined about 3 months after the village started. I found out about it from some people in the Land of Waves who told me about a village that was just starting up. Arashi explained. Why did you join? Rin asked, now genuinely curious about why another person decided to join. Well, that goes back to a little while ago. Let's sit down so I can tell you the story. Flashback, first one, laughing face, laughing face, laughing face, laughing face. It was a cloudy and stormy day in the beginning of spring, and a small caravan was traveling towards the Land of Waves in hope to have some refuge. Hey Arashi, do you see any danger coming up ahead? One of the merchants asked that he had decided to protect to get some extra cash. Nope, looks like we are good to go on the last stretch of our journey until we get to the Land of Waves. Arashi told them, happy that this boring mission would be over soon. He had been trained by his family as a ninja before they were killed in an ambush, so he decided to live the life as a mercenary since all of the other villages just didn't seem like ones he would be interested in. Just as he had predicted, the rest of the journey was uneventful. As they got to the wave, he received payment and went on his way to find a little hotel to stay in for a bit. As he walked into the lobby and was about to get a room, he overheard 2 guys talking. Hey, did you hear about the new village that someone is trying to start? The one villager asked. Yeah, I think they were calling it Sorogakure. If you ask me, I think the idea sounds kind of cool as it is well protected by water and whirlpools. The other said. This seems cool, might as well keep listening to see what else I can find out from these 2. Arashi thought to himself. It must be good. I heard Tazuna and his family decided to move there, and you know how they feel about hidden villages other than the Leaf. The first guy said. Excuse me, do you know where I can find this village? Arashi asked with a hopeful gleam in his eye. Sure, if you want I can take you out there on my boat since I know how to navigate around the biggest whirlpool. The first guy offered. That would be great, thanks. My name is Arashi, by the way, and you are? Arashi asked as he introduced himself. I am Sachiko, and this is my partner Yuma. It's a pleasure to meet you. We can head out right now while there is daylight if you like. Sachiko offered. That would be great, thanks. Arashi agreed and they set off on their way. The trip to the village was long and uneventful, and it took them a good 3 hours to get to it. They arrived at the village gates to be greeted by who they assumed was the guard. Halt. State your name and state of business. The unnamed guard asked. I am Arashi, this is Sachiko and that is Yuma, we wish to join your village. Arashi answered after hearing from those two during the trip about their plans. Okay, follow me, I will bring you to meet the Sarakage. My name is Konohamaru by the way, and that is Udon. They then walked to the tower and had a bit of small talk. As they arrived they were greeted by Naruto himself. Hey Konohamaru, who are these guys with you? Naruto questioned. They are Arashi, Sachiko and Yuma and they wish to join the village. Konohamaru told him. Very well, we can go into my office and discuss this more, follow me. They followed Naruto into the moderate-sized office. Udon and Konohamaru, you guys are to go back to guard duty, good job bringing them to me. Naruto thanked them with a smile. No problem boss. They both walked out the office to go back to their boring guard duty. So, Sachiko, why do you wish to join the village? Naruto asking, making sure his intentions were good. Well, me and my friend here just want a better life than in the wave, and we heard about this new place and figured we could become ninjas. Sachiko told him and his friend nodded in agreement, showing that he had the same reasons. Very well, what about you Arashi? Naruto questioned. I wish to join because I am just simply tired of being alone and fending for myself. I would rather be a ninja with a purpose than a mercenary, and know where I will sleep at night if I am not off on a mission. Arashi told him. Very well, Hinata-chan. Naruto called, knowing that Hinata would be within earshot. What is it Naruto-kun? Hinata asked quietly. Can you help these guys get an apartment for now, as well as show them around the village? Naruto requested. Of course, follow me. End flashback. Well, now you know, that is how I ended up joining the village as well as why. Arashi told them. That is awesome that you joined to better yourself and look. The match just finished, looks like the Nara managed to win. Kyoko told them, a bit surprised that someone from their village lost to someone from the Leaf. Will Taiko-ji and Shumiji Akamaiki please come down to the battlefield so we can begin? The proctor requested. This ought to be a good match. Arashi commented, receiving nods of agreement from Rin and Kyoko. The match between Shumiji Akamaiki and Taiko-ju was about to begin and it was sure to be an interesting one. Not many people have heard of the Jyu clan nor of their abilities, but those that do know that it is a rather handy bloodline. Everyone knew that the Akamaiki clan was a formidable one and can be of great use when it comes to combat, especially when paired with the Nara clan and Yamanaka clan. So who do you think will end up winning? I mean, they are both from what seems to be great clans, but I have never really seen either of them in action myself. Arashi asked them. I haven't really seen much either, but I am hoping that Taiko wins. Kyoko told them with a small smile, knowing just how shy Taiko can be from going on missions with her. I agree. I know that she can be shy from time to time, and not the most fun a lot, but she seems like a good capable shinobi. Rin said softly while the trio turned their attention to what already had begun. Battlefield. Shumiji uses a lot of taijutsu, I know that from reading her files and studying a bit about her clan. Taiko thought to herself while trying to think of the best way to counter her opponent. Seems like she is a long-range ninja from her jutsu, so I will have to try and bring her up close and personal. Shumiji thought with a grin. Partial expansion jutsu. Shumiji said as she expanded her arm to try and get a good hit onto Taiko, but what everyone saw next was jaw-dropping. In order to dodge that attack quickly, she had to use her bloodline limit to fly into the air as fast as she could. What in the world is that? Shumiji asked, stunned, which caused an opening for Taiko to attack. Lightning style. Lightning strike. Taiko announced, sending a small bolt of lightning at the stunned Shumiji. Shumiji quickly snapped out of it, but it was too late and took a direct hit. Got you. Taiko said with a small smile, knowing that her lightning jutsu was not powerful enough to kill someone but could easily cause a small amount of damage. Shumiji was still standing but knew that there was no way of winning this now thanks to Taiko's bloodline. Proctor. I give up. I don't stand a chance with her in the air, and I have no way of countering her lightning jutsu. Shumiji said with a frown on his face. Winner by forfeit, Teiko from Soragakur. The proctor announced, sending one thought through all the people in the stadium. Just how powerful were these ninja from the newly founded village? That is now the conclusion of round 1 of the Chunin exam finals. Congratulations to those that made it to the second round. We will now be taking a 30-minute intermission, so do what you please during this time. The proctor announced. With that, some of the crowd dispersed to stretch while the contestants just chatted among themselves. Good job, Teiko. Seems like everyone from our village made it to the next round. Rin congratulated her. Yeah, but the Hokage cannot be too happy that all of her ninja have already been kicked out of the tournament, Kyoko muttered, receiving nods of agreement from the others. Well, that doesn't mean we should put on a good show for Naruto-sama. We should still do our best to impress everyone else that decides to stay and fight to become Chunin. We want our village to receive as many mission requests as possible and to prosper. Arashi said, finally putting in his input on the situation at hand. I agree with Arashi. Go and give it your all, Kyoko-chan. If you win, I promise to take you out to a nice dinner for our date. Arashi told her with a big smile. Sounds good, Arashi-kun. I planned on winning this tournament anyway. Kyoko said with confidence in her voice. With the cages. So it seems like the only ones to advance are your brats Naruto. Tsunade said, quite annoyed. Yep. Doesn't surprise me, Bakan. Naruto said cheekily. It wouldn't be too surprising if many of those from the Leaf decide to leave, since none of the ninja from here are left. Gaara added in quietly in his monotone voice. Thanks a lot, brat. I will never hear the end of this from the council now. Tsunade muttered. Sorry that my genin are so great, Bakan. Naruto said with a smirk, receiving a grunt from her and Gaara. Back on the field, will Kyoko Uzumaki and Rin Kiga please come down to the battlefield to begin round 2 of the Chunin exam finals? The proctor requested. Good luck, Kyoko-chan, remember my promise. Arashi told her with a wink as he used the shunshin to go back to his seat in the stands. Let's give it our all, Rin. I won't hold back just because we are friends. Kyoko told her. I won't either, no matter what, friends until the end. Rin told her, receiving a nod of agreement from Kyoko. Match begin. The proctor announced as he got out of the way. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Kyoko said, gathering 3 solid clones onto the battlefield in hopes that numbers would give her the advantage. That won't work on me. Water style. Water bullet. Rin announced, shooting 3 water bullets in hopes to dispel the clones, and succeeded. Kyoko then unsheathed her sword and decided to try close combat and started use the Uzumaki sword technique that Rin managed to parry with her kunai, who for sure wouldn't last too much longer at such close proximity to her opponent. Water style. Water bullet. She called out once again, hoping to drive Kyoko away from her to gain some distance, which worked. Fuinjutsu. Water absorb. Kyoko announced, shocking everyone that she managed to stop the jutsu by absorbing the jutsu into the seal while jumping away. When did Kyoko manage to learn that? Rin questioned in her mind. I never saw that one coming, Kyoko. I will admit you got a lot better in the 1-month time you have been training, but do not count me out yet. Rin told her, getting slightly tired from using water bullets so many times. I know, I never planned on counting you out, Rin. Lighting style. Lighting strike. Kyoko announced, showing that she had lightning affinity. She didn't manage to get a direct hit but managed to get Rin's arm as she dodged, which made her wince in pain but didn't slow her down. Lightning release. False darkness. She said, trying to finally get a hit, and managed. The attack was nowhere near strong enough to kill her friend, but strong enough to hopefully get her to admit defeat. IW won't give up yet, Kyoko. Rin said, getting aggravated. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Kyoko announced, producing 2 clones this time, showing that she was getting tired and running a bit low on chakra. She threw shuriken from all different angles with her clones, but Rin still managed to dodge them by using the substitution jutsu. Damn, Rin is definitely a tricky opponent and very good at dodging. I might have to use the 2 jutsu that I was hoping to keep for the finals, oh well. Kaiko thought to herself. Summoning jutsu, she announced, and many were wondering just what could she summon. Many were expecting the toads due to who they now know she was training with, but no one ever expected a dog to appear. Kyoko-sama, what can I help you with? Sakin asked. I need to find my opponent. Here is a kunai with a bit of her blood on it. Think you can find her? Kyoko requested. I will do my best. Sakin then got searching and quickly signaling to Kyoko that she had found her. Kyoko nodded to Sakin to move away but not to disperse as she quickly formed a Rasengan in her hand and charged at the boulder Rin was hiding behind, which blew the boulder into thousands of pieces and Rin jumped away. Damn, she found me quickly. I never expected her to be able to summon those dogs. Rin thought to herself with a grimace. Rin and Kyoko were now both getting very tired and were running low on chakra once more, and both decided they needed to end it quickly. We are both getting tired, so why not end this with one last move? Kyoko suggested. I agree. That moment they both did the necessary hand seals and used their jutsu at the exact same time. Lightning style. Lightning strike. Kyoko announced her jutsu. Water style. Water bullet. Rin announced and the 2 jutsu collided, causing a huge cloud of smoke to cover the field, and Kyoko took advantage of having the ninja hound still there and had her sniff out Rin and guide her to her. Give up, Rin. I have my sword at your neck. Kyoko whispered in her ear, surprising Rin as the smoke cleared away. You could tell that both ninja were on their last legs, but Kyoko had managed to win. I give Proctor. I forfeit. Rin said, giving in to her exhaustion, but Kyoko managed to grab her friend. Winner by forfeit, Kyoko Uzumaki. The proctor announced to those that remained in the stadium and received many applause. Good match, Rin. I am glad to be able to fight you. Kyoko told her before heading back up to the stands, and Rin was carried off into the medical area to receive treatment. Good job, Kyoko-chan. I knew you could do it. Arashi told her, coming up and kissing her. Thank you, Arashi-kun. Now don't forget that date you promised me. Kyoko said with a laugh. Yeah, I know, don't worry. Arashi smiled. Will Sachiko Yami and Taikoji please come down for your fight? The proctor requested and the 2 contestants left. The rest of the tournament went on without any problems and all of the Chunin hopefuls were doing very well. Taikoji won his match against Sachiko and was now on to the final match with Kyoko Uzumaki. The third place would be taking place, but Rin was too exhausted and injured to continue, so she was forced to forfeit. Will Kyoko Uzumaki and Taikoji please come down for your fight? The proctor requested. Good luck, Taiko, may the best fighter win, and no hard feelings, right? Kyoko asked with a smile. Glad you feel that way. Hope you won't change your mind once I win. Taiko retorted with a smirk. Hey, we will have to wait and see then, won't we? Kyoko shot back while keeping her cool. Match begin. The proctor announced, using Shunshin to get out of the way. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Kyoko announced, using her usual start just like her older cousin Naruto, as 4 exact copies were summoned right next to her. I have seen that one before. You do the same thing every single match. I will not be like the others. You will not be able to fool me with the same tricks. Taiko retorted. Lightning style. Lightning strike. Kyoko said along with her other clones, hoping to hit her opponent from all sides. Lightning style. Lightning vortex. Taiko countered, surrounding herself in a vortex of lightning, surprising everyone, but Kyoko knew it took a lot of chakra to do that. Not bad, Kyoko, making me use my number 1 defense technique right off the bat. Taiko praised lightly. I am not done yet. Water style. Water bullet. The original Kyoko announced. Lighting style. False darkness. A clone announced while creating a collaboration jutsu that surprised everyone, including her opponent. Taiko knew she didn't have enough time to counter it, so she dodged but managed to get hit in the side since she wasn't fast enough. Dang it. Kyoko is a lot better than I gave her credit for. Must have been Naruto-sama's doing. Teiko thought to herself whilst dodging many of the kunai that were continuously being thrown at her. With Rin and Arashi, both of them are so good, I bet they will both make Chunin after this without a problem. Rin commented quietly in awe at her friend's strength. Wouldn't be surprising, they are both using strategy along with a lot of high-ranking jutsus during this tournament. I would honestly be surprised if they weren't made Chunin after this battle. Arashi told her with pride in his girlfriend. I knew they were both good, but never this good. I bet this is from all of the training that they received in the month. Rin suggested receiving a nod of agreement from Arashi. Back onto the field, Kyoko and Teiko had now resorted to kenjutsu for the time being and were matching blow for blow. I can't seem to get the upper hand, what can I do to make it stronger? Teiko thought to herself. You are pretty handy with that sword of yours, but I am about to get the upper hand, so be prepared. Kyoko said as she began channeling her lightning chakra into the blade, causing it to glow in a bright blue and make a chirping noise. It worked. I managed to channel the Chidori into the blade, even if it is ever so slightly. Kyoko thought to herself. When did you learn how to do that? Teiko thought out loud, causing Kyoko to smirk a bit. During my training with Kakashi-sensei, but I honestly just got the hang of it now. Kyoko admitted sheepishly as she began to fight Teiko once again, only this time she was taking the advantage without a problem with her Chidori-enhanced blade, which impressed all of the judges in the stands, especially the kenjutsu users. So, you got to train with two amazing ninja. How lucky can one get? All you're missing is a Sanin. Teiko joked as she finally managed to get some distance from her opponent. Lightning style. Lightning strike. Teiko desperately tried as she was trying to keep Kyoko as far away from her as possible. This is going to be a long shot, but is worth the try. Kyoko thought to herself. Summoning jutsu. Kyoko announced finally being able to summon two dogs. Greeting again. Kyoko-san, what can my brother Nari and myself do for you tea time? Sakin asked. I need you two to keep my opponent busy for a little bit, not too long but enough for me to charge up a Chidori and Rasengan. Kyoko requested. You got it, Kyoko-san. The two ninja hounds then got to work running at Teiko to try and get a good hold on her to keep her still. Kyoko then had her two clones make a Rasengan while she did the Chidori. If that hits, I am completely screwed. Teiko thought to herself. Chidori. Kyoko announced. Rasengan. Her clone announced as they both ran up to either side of her opponent and slamming both jutsu into her as the ninja hounds got away. Proctor. She won't be dead after this, but she won't be getting up either. I would call the match if I were you, and get her some medical attention ASAP. Kyoko suggested, looking at the poor girl that just took two very powerful jutsu at once. Winner by knockout. Kyoko Uzumaki. Who is also the winner of the Chunin exams. The proctor announced, causing a loud round of applause coming from all over the stadium. Good job, Kyoko. Arashi said as he used Shunshin to get to his girlfriend and give her a hug. Thanks, Arashi-kun. I am completely exhausted after this day though. Kyoko told him quietly, trying not to pass out. I hope you will all stay for the announcement of who made Chunin, which will take place shortly. The proctor requested. With the three cage, I think from my village, Rin, Teiko and Kyoko are all ready to become Chunin, but everyone else could use a bit more experience. Naruto decided. I agree with you, brat. I believe that Shikomari is ready and that's it. Do you believe that Taichiko should be promoted? Tsunade asked Gaara, who shook his head sadly. No, not this time. He showed good battle skill, but I can tell he should wait just a bit longer to begin leading a team on missions. Gaara told them. Back on the field. May I have your attention please? The cage have decided who will be promoted, so please quiet down. The proctor requested, and instantly the stadium was quiet in anticipation. I will start off with the Konoha. Tsunade started. I am sad to announce that only one genin from here has shown what it takes to become a Chunin, and that is Shikomari Nara. Tsunade announced, disappointing the other Leaf Chunin hopefuls. Shikomari then went up and got his vest and everyone in the stadium cheered from him. I will go next. Naruto decided, I am happy to announce that 3 of my genin will be promoted and they are Kyoko Uzumaki, Rin Kiga, and Teiko Jiu. Naruto announced proudly as the 3 of them went up and got their own vests, receiving lots of applause. I am sorry to announce that no one from the Sand Village is ready to be promoted at this time. Gaara told the crowd, who stayed silent this time, and a very sad Taichiko looked on sadly. Thank you all for coming and supporting the Chunin exams, and until next time. I hope you all have a safe travel back home. Tsunade announced and the stadium began to disperse. So what do we do now? Kyoko asked Naruto. Well, I say I flash all of us back to Soragaku and we can celebrate. Naruto decided with a big grin. Okay Naruto-sensei, when and where will we meet? Kyoko asked, wondering if they would have time to do anything while in this village. Wait here, I will go gather everyone now. And in a minute Naruto was back with all of the ninja from Soragaku and they flashed back to the cage tower. Ah, good to see you are back Naruto. I presume the exams went well? Shikamaru asked lazily as ever. They did. 3 ninja were promoted including Kyoko, Rin and Teiko. Naruto said proudly as they all shook their heads. That is good news. What will happen to their teams? Shikamaru asked. I will decide that later. Everyone is dismissed except Shikamaru, Jiraiya and Hinata-chan. Naruto told them as they all dispersed to do their own thing. Is there a reason you wanted me to stay, Naruto? Shikamaru asked, hoping to get it out of the way as soon as possible so he can go see his girlfriend. Well, first off, I just wanted to know how the village was while I was away, and that your cousin, I believe it was made into a chunin at this exam. Naruto told him, knowing exactly why Shikamaru was in a rush to get out. Well, the village was okay. A few bandits tried to get in, but it wasn't anything the genin couldn't handle. A few more civilians joined as well as ninja, which I will give you the roster to later, and a new class began at the academy. I have received intel from Itachi Uchiha that Sasuke is on the move, and might try to come here to find out what is going on. The Akatsuki will also make a move any time now, I believe, since they have been so quiet since the Gaara incident. I fear once they find out where you are that they will attack. Shikamaru told him seriously. Well, that is a lot of good and bad news, so we will have to send out more patrols and intelligence gathering teams to see what they can find. For the time being, I want everyone to be on their toes and keep an eye out for anything suspicious. The village may be in peace now, but now that we are out to the world, I am sure that this won't last forever. Naruto explained, really hoping that the Akatsuki do not find out where this village is, because if they do, bad things are sure to happen with it. It was a rainy and cloudy day in the village of Soragaku, and you could find our young village leader about to assign a mission to 5 ninja. You called for us, Sarakage-sama? Konohamaru asked. Yes, I would like for you to take Udon, Kyoko, Rin, and Teiko on a border patrol, and be mindful that this will be the 3 new Chunin first border patrols as their new rank. Naruto requested with a grin, knowing very well they would not appreciate a border patrol in this weather. Hi, Naruto-sama, we will leave right away. Konohamaru said with a grimace that showed on every one of their faces. Yo, Naruto, I got some news that might interest you. Jiraiya said once the Chunin left using the window as his entrance spot. What is it, pervy sage? Can't you ever use a window? Naruto asked him with a scowl. I heard from one of my contacts that the Akatsuki are officially on the hunt for the 8 tails, as well as the 9 tails Jinchuriki now. They will not stop until they have you captured, but they do have one big disadvantage in losing 2 of their best members. Jiraiya warned him. Okay, I will send Itachi, Kisame, and you to go investigate. I cannot afford risking any of the other ninja right now in a fight with them, but if you need help, then push some of your chakra in this kunai and throw it. I will appear with backup if worse comes to worse. However, I would be even more worried if the members are not 2 that the 3 of you can handle. Naruto told him with a somewhat grim look. Okay, but don't worry, as 3 are your best ninja. But I believe we will need help if Sasuke is somehow there, or the leader. Those two together will be near impossible to beat, but it can be done. Jiraiya told him, and Naruto nodded, signaling him to leave and find his two teammates. Things sure are going to start getting lively around here. I never thought that peace in this village would last forever, but I had hoped it would last a little longer. Naruto thought to himself while deciding to leave work early since everything was done. Oh Naruto-kun, you startled me. What are you doing home early today? Hinata asked as Naruto came up behind her while knitting a red scarf. Well, I finished giving missions out as well as all of my paperwork, so I decided it would be nice to surprise you, plus I left behind a shadow clone to do anything that comes up just in case. Naruto explained with a grin. Well, since you're home, how about I make you some ramen for a late lunch? Hinata suggested with a small smile while putting down her knitting project. That would be awesome, Hinata-chan, thank you very much. Naruto then sat down and decided to do a bit of reading on one of the reports he had gotten earlier about Sasuke. I wonder what you are up to, Sasuke. I hope nothing that you can never be redeemed for. Naruto thought to himself, having no idea that he had already killed Orochimaru and is now on the hunt for his elder brother Itachi. With Sasuke, where could Itachi be? I heard that he has left the Akatsuki along with Kisame, but they couldn't have just disappeared off the face of the planet. Sasuke thought to himself, being very aggravated, and you could see it on his face. He had just brought Suigetsu to get the sword from the Wave Village and couldn't believe when he saw the name of the great bridge that they named after Naruto all those years ago. Is everything okay, Sasuke-kun? Karen asked, still adoring him as much as she ever has. Everything is fine, but do you see that island over there? Can you sense any chakra coming from there? Sasuke asked, thinking Itachi could never be there, but it was worth a shot, and oh how wrong he could be. Sure, Sasuke-kun, anything for you. Karen told him, trying to sense chakra on the village, but it was a little difficult due to the long distance, and she had a very large look of shock on her face. What did you actually find something out there? Sasuke asked, seriously getting irritated at this point. I did. I found a massive amount of chakra coming from that direction, large enough to even be a ninja village, though I doubt there is one. Karen told him, thinking about the stories she was told of her clan when she was little and how they used to live on a large island off the wave village named Uzushigakure, or the village hidden in the whirlpools. We must check it out at once. It could be Itachi with his partner Kisame. Sasuke said angrily as they ran out onto the ocean in hopes to make it to the island as fast as possible. With Itachi, Kisame, and Jiraiya. Do you see those 4 ninja coming our way? It looks as if it is Sasuke along with some friends of his. Be alert, we do not know how powerful he is. Jiraiya warned them. I believe we should try and capture all of them alive so we can take them to Naruto to be questioned. Naruto-sama can figure out what to do with them, though I do have an idea that might shake Sasuke off of his dark path. Itachi explained to the other two his plan as they were all hoping it would work. So you think if you trap Sasuke in your genjutsu, then we will be able to capture the other 3 and you can explain to Sasuke what really happened that night? Jiraiya asked, hoping it would work. Correct. If I can explain that to him, then he might just join the village, or he will go on a rampage and try to kill us all. Itachi told them in his usual monotone voice. Okay, I will send a messenger toad to Naruto to tell him our plan. Hopefully we will not need to call him here, since I believe we can trap these guys instantly if it works. Jiraiya then summoned one of the small toads to bring the message to Naruto and the prepared for battle just in case. Kisame, once Sasuke is trapped, I want you to drain most of his chakra with your sword, and then I will seal away the rest as well as his eyes for the time being. Once Itachi explains everything to him, I will bring them all back to Naruto and he can decide what happens. Jiraiya explained, making Kisame's sword a very happy one, to be able to get a good meal. Got it, my Samahata will be more than thrilled to eat all of their chakra. Kisame told him with a shark-like smirk. With Naruto and Shikamaru, a messenger toad, wonder what this is about. Shikamaru thought to himself. I bet you are wondering what this message is about, and I am having a pretty good idea what it is about. Jiraiya, Itachi and Kisame were sent out to find information on the enemy, and my best guess is that they found them. Naruto explained to him as he read the message to him. I see, I believe you picked an excellent trio to do this, Naruto. I do want to know what will become of Sasuke and his friends. Shikamaru questioned, being quite puzzled at the situation. Well, they will all be interrogated, of course. I will have to do that myself to keep it a secret that he is here for now. If I find him to have changed ways thanks to Itachi telling him the truth, then I will offer him a place in this village. If not, I will have his chakra sealed away until that happens, and imprison him. Naruto told him, showing that they have planned this out thoroughly. That seems like a good idea. I will do what I can to help with the interrogations. Shikamaru decided. Hi, thanks Shikamaru, I knew I could count on you. Back with Itachi, Jiraiya and Kisame. Well, here comes my foolish little brother. Itachi commented. I will let you handle Sasuke, Kisame, and I will take the other three. Jiraiya decided finally as they were in eyesight. Itachi, I have finally found you. Sasuke yelled as he came to a halt in front of the three powerful ninja. I see you have not changed, Sasuke. Itachi commented. I will kill you, and get revenge for the Uchiha for what you have done. Sasuke declared while trying to plan out his move. You will learn everything today. I will finally tell you the truth behind what happened that terrible night. Itachi told him as he prepared his Tsukuyomi. We will see about that. Sasuke snarled angrily. Tsukuyomi. Itachi declared, starting the fight between them.